Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling Music Park Fan 62. It is Monday, July the 8th. Now, in today's video, this is my review of Money in the Bank 2024. Now, please note this before I begin. I'm not going to include NXT Heatwave in this video at this moment. I will do that another day. Now, first was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, this match was good. It had a lot of those chaotic moments that you typically find in Money in the Bank ladder matches, but the main problem was essentially I do like the fact that they pulled a swerve on who was going to win the match. So all of the posters and all that was going for Jey Uso. With him holding the briefcase saying "Yeet" in the bank and all of that. But I liked how they pulled the swerve with Drew McIntyre. Now, he's going to play a factor in this show. Now, I do like the fact they didn't pull any shenanigans with this match and have the Wyatt Six come out, attack Chad Gable. Have Bobby Lashley or anybody with Carmelo Hayes who's been talking bad against, or any of those people between both shows on. So you have that. So next you have Braun Breaker versus Sammy. Now, for the people who are saying Braun has been a failure and stuff like that, remember, this is his first pay-per-view since coming up. Now, while he was not in the King of the Ring or Backlash, this is his first pay-per-view coming up. Honestly, he did not do too bad. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do yet with Braun, but it is going to be an interesting ordeal. Next match is Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Now, this one was interesting on a multitude of levels because you had the looming Drew McIntyre in it. But it was one of those things where you weren't sure what entirely was going to happen. So when both men were down later in the match, Drew came out and was going to cash in on Seth Rollins while he may not have been the champion. To win. But guess who appeared? CM Punk. And cost Drew the match. So tonight on Raw is going to be an interesting ordeal with that, because you're going to have this triangle of Seth Rollins not liking CM Punk. Even Damian Priest, who was the winner, when he was leaving, did not have a pleasant look on his face. So they are teasing Punk versus McIntyre for SummerSlam. But it's been an interesting build. This is going back to stuff like the Royal Rumble. because at the Rumble, Drew McIntyre injured CM Punk in the Rumble match. So from there, they've started this feud going back and forth. So now we get to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, this was a train wreck, but in a good way. So you had a lot of these insane spots. I did like the fact Chelsea Green was in the match, and she was scared of heights, but she had to climb a ladder to get the briefcase. So that was sort of funny. Then they had that insane spot with Zoe Stark and Io Shirai. And then you had that spot with Chelsea Green and someone else setting up tables just for Chelsea to get pushed over on a ladder to go through the tables for Tiffany Stratton to get the briefcase. Now, I sort of liked the fact that the Chelsea Green spot going through the tables was sort of a reminiscent of her going through the tables at Slammiversary in Impact in 2020 during COVID. So that was sort of a funny spot. Next, you had Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline. Now, this was interesting on many levels because this was Jacob Fatu's first match in WWE since coming into WWE only a couple of weeks ago. And the fact WWE and Triple H had to pull some strings just to get Jacob Fatu into the country due to his past. And then you had Solo Sikoa and all of this. Now, before I go into the match itself, I want to praise Kevin Owens on something. Even though his mother was in the hospital, he chose to come and fight the Bloodline because he has been dealing with the Bloodline for a while. So, for I think it's like 3 years going on 4, something like that. So, I give him that. So, I also loved in a video promo on SmackDown, they did it where Solo was talking about how Roman couldn't get it done versus Cody and how he is the tribal chief and so forth. So, now the match was your typical 6-man tag match, but toward the end, it did get chaotic with all these different spots, with the crossroads on the announcer's desk, and so forth, and Jacob Fatu lunging himself at Cody Rhodes just for Solo to do the Samoan spike. So overall, it was a great show. Out of 5, I give it a good 4.5. Now, there was many botches on the show. I don't know if it was just because the ropes were slippery, the ropes, weren't tight enough, or what with some of them. But